30 days, and we'll make it bigger and better and even nicer. So I just want to thank everybody involved. I also want to thank the press, the media. You've been very responsible in your coverage. I will say, I've been seeing what's been out. You've been very responsible. So, Todd Lynch, I'd like to say a few words, and then we're going to have cash. And then you're going to go on. We can ask, I guess we can take a couple of questions. I want to thank the First Lady for, that was a rather traumatic experience for her.
Yep.
There was a lot of action.
Another Californian.
But again, the response time was really incredible. And we're going to reschedule. We're going to do it again. We're not going to let anybody take over our society. We're not going to cancel things out because we can't do that. We wanted to say tonight, I will tell you, I fought like hell this day.
From the sounds of it, another California liberal type, but we don't know. These people are just sick. Liberalism is a mental disorder. President Trump speaks after shooter apprehended outside White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Todd Blanche, please.
They showed a picture of him on the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Tonight you saw the very worst and the very best of this country. You saw the very worst by the actions of that coward that the president just talked about. But you also saw the very best.
Right there.
You saw law enforcement do exactly what they're supposed to do. And you'll see the videos come out, I expect, very shortly. And you'll see law enforcement do exactly what
it's pathetic.
We want them to do. And so I echo what President Trump just said.
Oh, hey, Jay, how's it going? I appreciate that. And you don't have to be. That's what America is. But we don't need to have fucking lunatics running around trying to take pot shots at any political official.
But as you'll hear, there will be multiple charges around the shooting, around the possession of firearms. And
how are the squirrels today, Jay?
Get on this guy. The investigation is obviously...
President Trump speaks after shooter apprehended outside a White House Correspondents' Dinner.
And doing their job, and I don't want to get ahead of them, and don't want to get ahead of the work they're doing.
You're seeing the weather reports up there, too. How are you? Are you being safe from the weather, Jay?
And everybody in this room should rest assured that the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI, Secret Service, everybody's on the scene doing their job. I know that the police chief is going to give an update from the scene as soon as we're finished here, and I obviously will lead the details of what they have learned to him. But in the meantime, I just want to thank
good. There were some serious storms near Seward. They kind of went towards the bottom of Iowa. Well, there you see.
Thank you.
More so Missouri, it looks like.
Thank you, Mr. President. The president's absolutely right. You saw the best resolve of American law enforcement because you, Mr. President, inspire them 24/7.
I actually applied for that for a Secret Service job. You can't be older than 37, though, to apply.
Respond immediately, swiftly, subdue and take down the suspect, and safeguard the lives of thousands of individuals at that hotel. Thanks to our interagency partnership with the Department of Homeland Security and the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI.
Can you hear the TV?
The scene, took over the evidence response unit, is examining all the ballistics that were found on scene, to include the long gun and the shell casings. We are conducting witness interviews as we speak. You will hear from our team on the scene there with the mayor and the head of the FBI field division there. But please know what the Attorney General has just said reigns no truer. You saw the very best of America tonight. The very best unite us at a time of uncertainty, because we have leadership here with the president, the vice president.
Oh, you can't hear the TV.
And the men and women that I shook their hands on the scene today could not have been prouder to show up on scene. And as the Attorney General said, make no mistake, we are conducting witness interviews. If you have any information whatsoever related to this event, 1-800-CALL-FBI. 1-800-CALL-FBI. No piece of information is too small. No piece of
This guy was one of the California liberal types.
Interviews of those that were there. And if any of those individuals have information, please come forward to law enforcement of the FBI or the Metropolitan Police Department. We will be examining this individual's background thoroughly. That process has already started, and we are going to ensure that he was either a lone wolf actor or anyone else that was responsible. We will analyze all evidence immediately to make sure that we safeguard this country. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, thank you for your leadership. Attorney General, Homeland Secretary Mullen, thank you for your partnership in law enforcement.
Thank you. couple and then we go to the Madam Chair. I just want to say you did a fantastic job.
I'd like to hear CNN
We're going to reschedule it.
talk shit about this.
That is very tough for her to ask a killer question, right? But you have done a fantastic job, please.
Mr. President, I appreciate it. As you mentioned, it all happened so quickly. And I wonder, especially because unfortunately you have experience with these sorts of threats. In that moment, when
She's
you
cute.
realized there was a threat and service agents were telling us to get down, can you describe what was going through your mind, how you were feeling in that moment?
That's a very good question, actually. It's always shocking when something like this happens. It's happened to me a little bit, and that never changes. The fact we were sitting right next to each other, the First Lady on my right, and I heard a noise and sort of thought it was a tray. I thought it was a tray going down. I've heard that many times, and it was a pretty loud noise. And it was from quite far away. He hadn't breached the area at all. They really got him. But so it was quite far away, but it was a gun. And some people really understood that pretty quickly, other people didn't. I was watching to see what was happening, probably should have gone down even faster. Melania was very cognizant, I think, of what happened. I think she knew immediately what happened. She was saying, that's a bad noise. And we were whisked away.
Oh, thanks for. Oh,
People, but we were really whisked away. And again,
Jay Thompson whisking away to.
police, all of the law enforcement. So it
Yeah.
was very quick. There wasn't a lot of time to be thinking because it was a matter of seconds before.
Well, thanks for stopping in, Jay.
Gone into an area. We very much, and you wanted to too. We very much wanted to continue it.
I'm kind of being a little more quiet than normal just because
These thugs, these horrible.
this needs to be covered.
Change the fabric of our life, change the course of what we do. So we held out. You were there. We held out.
Hopefully, this doesn't go into some stupid gun grab.
And I understand there was protocol, but we're going to be doing one hopefully within the next 30 days or sooner. And I am ready, willing, and able. And I was all set to really rip it. And I said to my people, this would be the most inappropriate speech ever made. And I said, so I'll have to save it. I don't know if I can ever be as rough as I was going to be tonight. I think I'm going to be probably very nice. I'll be very boring the next time, but we're going to have a great event. And you did a fantastic job. Thank you very much, Peter. Go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. There's a report in the New York Post that this assailant assembled his weapon somewhere on site at the hotel. What do you think about that? And I ask respectfully, why do you think this keeps happening to you?
Well, you know, I've studied assassinations, and I must tell you, the most impactful people, the people that do the most, you take a look at the people, Abraham Lincoln, I mean, you go through the people that have gone through this where they got them. But the people that do the most, the people that make the biggest impact, they're the ones that they go after. They don't go after the ones that don't do much because they like it that way.
Biden.
And when you look at
Biden.
people that
Who knows?
either whether it was an attempt or a successful attempt, and they're very impactful people. Just take a look at the names there, the big names. And I hate to say I'm honored by that, but I've done a lot. We've done a lot. We've taken this country, and we were a laughing stock for years, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We've changed this country, and there are a lot of people that are not happy about that. So I think that's the answer, Peter.
And after Butler, your team for a while rethought outdoor events.
Yeah.
Do you think that you now need to rethink
No,
indoor?
well, then you just don't do events. No, I can't do that. I have to. It is what it is. We have to do it. The room was very, very secure. You know, he charged from 50 yards away, so he was very far away from the room.
And what do you think when you saw the video of how fast he was running?
He was moving. He was really moving, and the reaction time was great. Boy, those guys, they had their guns drawn literally by the time he was there. They were shooting.
That's right.
I thought they were very impressive. And if I didn't, I'd let you know. You know, I'm not going to be. I would not stand for that. No, I thought they were very impressive.
Thank you, President Trump, and thank you for updating us on the suspect earlier. Were you aware of any threats, was your team aware of any threats beforehand, and do you believe you were the target of this tonight?
I guess. I mean, these people they're crazy. They're crazy, and you know, you never know.
Liberalism is a mental disorder.
We had to go through a lot. We had resources all over. We had resources sitting at tables, literally. And
Man charged security checkpoint, armed with multiple weapons.
So he had a long way to go. That was really first line of defense, and they got him.
White House Correspondents'
They
Dinner.
reacted incredibly. No, we had-
Thank you to the Secret Service for protecting the president and everyone involved.
We had no idea. Go ahead, Tim.
Any political motivations from this?
Well, you never know. Now, we'll be able to tell you that maybe by tomorrow or the next day. You know, he's in custody, and they're asking him a lot of questions. I guess they're going over Todd, and they're already at his apartment. He lives in California, and they're over there, so they'll be able to tell you. Thank you, Kate.
Californian.
President Trump, did the suspect say anything, or was he wearing anything that would allege some type of motive here?
Nothing, no. I mean, he was a guy who looked pretty evil when he was down. You know, they had him down. He was fighting hard. He was, in my opinion, a sick person. Who would do that but a sick person? But I think you're going to find everything about him. No reason to talk about it now. But tomorrow at this time, long before this time, you're going to know a lot of things about him. They seem to think he was a lone wolf, and I feel that too.
Are you concerned about U.S. Secret Service?
Law enforcement has gone to suspect's apartment.
No, they actually-
Lives in California.
I mean, I'm the one, and Mark, when you would agree with that, I think, I'm the one that would complain. You don't have to complain for me. I would be complaining. I'd be up here right now saying they didn't do their job. Oh, believe me, because, you know, it's my life. And I want to live because I want to make this country great. That's why I want to live. But when you're impactful, they go after you. When you're not impactful, they leave you alone. Okay, a couple of more. Go ahead, please.
Is there any indication that this shooting could have been linked to
4/25/26.
I don't think so, but you never know. We're going to know a lot. We have the best people in the world working on it, and we're going to know a lot. Please.
President, there's you as well as some of us who have covered Butler.
Oh, there's a cute girl again.
Horrific day 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What felt similar? You know, you had the First Lady with you today. What felt different? And you have another 2+ years in office. Are you concerned about something like this happening?
Well, I can't be concerned. I can only get.
Oh,
blame
please.
people that did
And
the
don't
job.
jump on the cards.
In my opinion, a much better job than Butler. Butler had one weak spot that we all know about. Somebody should have been up there, but even Butler.
Look at that hideous man.
Our sniper on our side within 4.2 seconds from a distance of about.
Flying V. Just if you heard that notification, he's live right now.
You know, he's David. His name is David. I say hello, David, every time I see him. David, I like you very much, David. But think of that. Now, if he doesn't hit him, and he hit him right between the eyes from 400 yards without any notice, nobody knew. He heard a sound. He looked over, and there was actually a tree that was somewhat in his way. You know the story very well. And he aimed, he fired.
That dog's behind me, so that's why part of the reason this camera's just bouncing around everywhere.
One great person and 2 people very badly hurt. They're okay now. But no, that was so. In a sense, you know, it was pretty amazing the job they did. But they did that one weak spot, as you know. They should have had that covered. Tonight they had everything covered very quickly, and he was fast. He was running full blast, and they got him before they got any further. I was very far away. You know, he hadn't anywhere close to reach the doors of the ballroom. The ballroom was sealed, and everybody in there. That's why once those doors opened, they didn't want to do tonight. If the doors weren't opened, we could have probably done it.
Fuck, that guy was
I think we're
fast.
much better off rescheduling. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, for you and perhaps law enforcement as well, what is the level of confidence that this was a lone actor? And has the suspect made any statements to police while in
Yeah,
custody?
I think that's just that's not my profession. We have great professionals up here and outside that have been working with.
Look at this.
My impression is he was a lone.
Boom!
whack job.
Guy can fucking move.
These are crazy people, and they have to be dealt with. We had that in the second attempt. As you know, he's spending life in prison because if you let him out, they'll probably, if he serves 10 years or 15 years, you let him out, he'll probably try it again with somebody else. They're sick people. We have a lot of sick people, but you're going to know. I think very shortly you're going to know, Todd, a lot about him. You're going to know a lot about him. Yeah, a couple of more. Yeah, please go ahead.
Are you concerned about political violence? This could be politically
All
motivated.
violence. I'm concerned about everything. Look, I can't be so concerned that you can't function. No, I'm here. It's a dangerous profession. You know, I tell the story, race car drivers, I think it's very dangerous. So if you take 1% and then take about 10% of 1%, just to break it down very easily.
Steiner math.
So much less than 1%, 10% of 1%.
233 1/3 chance.
About the same, 10% of 1%, much less than 1%. But if you take presidents,
Samoa Joe and Kurt Angle ain't gonna win.
and about 8% are shot at. So nobody told me this was such a dangerous profession. If Marco would have told me, maybe I wouldn't have run. Maybe I would have said, I'll take a pass. No, it's a dangerous profession, but I don't view it that way. Look, I'm here to do a job. As part of the job, it is a dangerous. I can't imagine that there's any profession that's more dangerous. But I love the country, and I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the job we've done. You see what's happened. We have a great country. We've got, I think, the most successful, the hottest country anywhere in the world. This happened over a period of just a year, and we're going to do great things. But with that come risks. There's no question about it. Yeah.
Political violence, not just aimed at yourself, but at other members of Congress, state house speakers, you name it. Is that just the cost of doing business?
Yeah.
Do politics in America anymore?
Yeah, well, what else say about our country? We're not the only country. You look at this great violence with all countries. I was talking to somebody from another country today, and they have numerous assassinations of political figures all over the world. You look at
Mexico.
South America, it's like some of the numbers are just horrific. It's dangerous. It's dangerous stuff, whether it's here or someplace else. No country is immune. No country. Good question.
At this point?
Well, probably if I decided to just not do much, if I let everybody rip us off and take advantage of us. Look, we're leading the world in trade now. We're leading the world in the military. We're the greatest military in the world. I rebuilt it in my first.
Yes, we are.
And now we use it because we have no choice. We can't let, as an example, Iran, we can't let them get a nuclear weapon. Everything will be peanuts compared to that if they ever were given a nuclear weapon. And they'd use it too. Marco and I were talking about it today. They would use it without even hesitation. We can't do that. It was a shame. I said, oh boy, look at the numbers. We just broke 50,000 in the Dow. We just broke 7,000 in the S&P. They said we couldn't do it in 7 years, in 5 years, 4 years. They were saying maybe in 5 or 6 years. And we did it in 1 year. And I called everybody together. I called all of these people and others and said, we have to take a little journey. I say to do this. We just had the great number. We just broke 50,000.
Again, a serious attempt.
That happened during my term.
Presumed attempt at the president by a very agile, fast runner, athletic individual from California.
We had the B-2 bombers take them out. I terminated in the first term
The White House Correspondents' Dinner tonight. Secret Service did an excellent job of apprehending the suspect less than 50 yards from the door.
So, when you do things like that, you become a target. If I wasn't doing that, I guess I'd be a lot less of a target. But I'm honored to be. Okay, one more question. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. Did you know how the gun was brought into the hotel? And also, how does this event impact you as the leader of our country? Do you think it will change?
I like not to think about it. I lead a pretty normal life, considering it's a dangerous life. I think I handle it as well as it can be handled. I think a lot of other people, you read stories where they become basket cases. To be honest with you, I'm not a basket case. I really take it as it is. I do it for the country. I'm not doing it for any other reason. I have a first lady who's doing a terrific job. She loves the country, and she recognizes it better than anybody. She's told me numerous times. She said, "You are in a dangerous job." But
I wouldn't be surprised if she has some breakdown.
For her too. We sat there tonight.
She's putting up with a bunch of shit.
It was either a tray or a bullet. I was hoping it was a tray, but it wasn't. And again, we had some very great people doing a great job, so we're very proud of them and happy with them. I just want to thank everybody. They will be able to give you all that information as to the names and everything else. I think we released the names already. Most of you would have it, but his name. We appreciate it. I see so many tuxedos and beautiful dresses. It was a little different evening than we thought, but we're going to do it again, and we have a great chairman who we're so proud of, and we have to make it better. We'll make it safer, I guess, right? But we're going to make it even better. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. You want to say something?
People across the globe are watching you. You demonstrated courageous leadership, and thank God you're alive. All of us are alive today. What are the messages that you want to give to the world that this should change? What corrective measures can we take from here on?
Well,
We don't need to discuss that in public.
I don't care how many people you have, how good they are. They can be the greatest people. You have the greatest security in history. If you have a whack job who's got a brain, but it's a little bit distorted or a lot distorted, they can make trouble. I would say, Pete, right? They can make trouble. Some of these people are of genius level IQ, and they're nuts. So it can be trouble. So you do absolutely the best. You get the best. We have the best people. Well, look, it was proven tonight. He started running from 50 yards, and he was fast. It was like a blur on tape. He was moving. It was very impressive the way they got him. Because a lot of people would be looking and saying,
Yeah, watch how.
it's like,
That's how fast that guy was.
and they would let him get through, but they didn't let him get through. They drew those guns so fast. They looked like Matt Dillon. They looked like somebody that knew what they were doing. What do I do? But it comes with the territory. And if you want to do a great job, I really believe that. And you take a look at what's happened to some of our greatest presidents, and it doesn't happen to people that don't do anything. And it's not going to deter me from winning the war in Iran. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I really don't think so.
He ran, but he didn't get far.
We're going to continue to do a great job. That's all I can do. See you tomorrow. Thank you.
We've just been listening to the president speak after shots were fired just outside the White House Correspondents' Dinner at the Washington Hilton in the nation's capital. The president saying a man who lives in California charged a security checkpoint armed with multiple weapons before being taken down by the Secret Service. I'm going to ask our director to roll that video that's been released now by the White House. You can see how fast this man was coming. Look to the left side of your screen. Sprinting right past Secret Service when they draw their weapons and begin to fire. The shooter was not able to breach the doors to the ballroom dinner.
Must have been a long-legged fella too. The fast as he's moving like that. Look at this.
Was saved by a bulletproof vest. The president saying he heard a loud noise and thought it was
Watch from that bench.
going down, and he was quickly rushed off the stage. The president also praising law enforcement.
Boom. 1, 2.
Saying he hopes he will be able to
2 strides.
motivations in the coming days. The
Covered double that
releasing
bench.
A photo of the alleged shooter taken down by both Secret Service and DC law enforcement. This is a picture right now. One of the images they've released 2 different images of the shooter. It's still unclear, one, how he brought the weapon into the Washington Hilton, how he was able to bring that weapon into the hotel where the dinner was being hosted. 2, how he was able to at least run as fast as he was, running through at least one.
Well, it's probably meth why he was running as fast as he was.
Very far from the entrance to the ballroom.
Fucking
essentially
idiot.
saying that his life, the president's life, it was in danger, but not in danger in the sense that the man was so close he could start firing through the doors or at least into the ballroom. And again, we're still learning a lot. Whoa,
hey! Boom!
Police, the Metropolitan Police Department here in Washington, along with the DC Mayor, Mayor Bowser, to host a news conference to give us some information. As soon as that starts, we're going to bring that to you live.
Sorry, got chills there. I'm holding the camera up in my hand, balanced on my knee.
This happened at state houses. We've seen it happen across the country. 2 or more attempts on the president's life, and now what we saw tonight here at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Yeah, the president also saying he started to study assassination attempts because of what's happened to him, and he's learned a lot from them. And also making the case for the ballroom that is now in the hands of a court, and the reason that it should be built because it can be protected better. The president questioning the security at the hotel, saying it was not very secure. In the president's word, we went through security. We saw that there were metal detectors there, but it is a hotel. There are some policies the hotel has to follow with guests that are staying in the hotel that are not going to the dinner. It's not exactly a perfect place to host this in the sense that things like this can happen, and they did tonight.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Look, the president said in his view that this was not a particularly secure building, but he went out of his way repeatedly to praise the actions of the Secret Service and of law enforcement that were there on the scene. You mentioned the suspect. Yes, as we speak, according to the president, law enforcement is going through the suspect's apartment. He lives, according to the president, in California. The president said he believed that this was a lone wolf, but it's unclear.
Excuse me.
The president did not seem to believe that this had anything to do with the ongoing war in Iran. But certainly,
Oh, it probably had everything to do with Iran and a fucking nut job and meth, because the way he moves so fast. Otherwise, it'd be in the NFL.
As you were right there, just sitting across in the table front of me, this all happened very quickly. Secret Service whisked him away. Now, the president releasing, really just as he began talking, that striking video of the suspect sprinting past the security checkpoint. You're right, the security checkpoint significantly outside of where the ballroom doors were. The suspect never got to the ballroom doors. The president saying that he was stopped very quickly by the Secret Service. But yes, the president is suggesting this was not a particularly secure building, using the opportunity to argue for why he needs a secure event space here at the White House. The president, of course, very fond of holding indoor events, and even next week, we expect the president to hold a state visit at the White House by King Charles. The president.
Actually, I'm just going to end this stream. You heard the president speak about a possible attempt on his life. April 25th, 2026. Excuse me. Thanks for watching.
To this particular incident, significant though, Tom.